So, I'm sure a lot of you guys know that the Master Chief Collection is pretty dead at this point. Finding a match takes a while, even at peak times, the player count's so low, nobody plays it. The only reason somebody would go back to the game is to play the campaigns. Now, we all know this was due to, technical issues at launch, and not enough playlists, and buggy games, and low frame rates, but 343 have not really been pulling their weight as far as updates go. Now, I know they have Halo 5 to worry about and things like that, and whatever new Halo game they're planning on creating, but the Master Chief Collection is supposed to be the classic Halo experience. It's them showing the fans that they care, and at the moment, they don't seem to care. The last update for the Master Chief Collection was on the 13th of the 10th, 15. The 13th of October last year. That's absolutely ages ago. That's nearly 9 months ago. In fact, yeah, it's about 9 months ago at the time of recording this. That's insane. 9 months without an update for the Master Chief Collection, and it is by no means fixed. It needs updates beyond belief. There's still issues with Halo 4's maps not loading in the campaign, throwing error messages, and I think it's about time 343 stepped up and actually fixed the game, or at least released it on the PC with the ability for the community to fix the game. Like they've done with so many others. Fallout 4, pretty much every Bethesda game. They've all had community-driven updates. In fact, Halo Custom Edition had community-driven updates for the PC, bringing multiplayer servers back after GameSpy shut down, bringing crazy mods like SPv3 and things like that. The community will fix the game that 343 has neglected for the past 9 months, because we want it. We want Halo 3 and 1080p 60 FPS. We want Halo 2 Anniversary. And I feel that 343 are just doing a disservice to the people that want the classic Halos and the people that want to experience what Halo was like in the past. All the new people that have joined Halo 4, Halo 5, they can experience what made the franchise so great to both Xbox and PC gamers. I feel 343 are just, now that they've made it and they know they're not going to make any money from it, I feel like either them or Microsoft are pushing them to just disregard it completely because it's no longer bringing in profit. Nobody will buy it because they know how broken it was, and they've not fixed it. So, if I were in 343's shoes, I'd set aside, similar to how Battlefield 4 went, right? Battlefield 4 now is a fantastic game. DICE LA, a new team formed specifically for fixing Battlefield 4, have made the shooter one of the best shooters I've played in years. But if 343 were to do the same thing, they could bring the Master Chief Collection back to the glory it deserved. The game deserved to be the #1 seller on the Xbox. It was supposed to be the best game the Xbox One had seen. But it failed because of either time constraints, Microsoft or their publishers pushing them to get the game out faster than they should have done, or just employee negligence. There were things in there that any QA tester should have been able to find. Things like maps not loading, things like hangs and crashes. Any decent QA tester would have been able to find these. It's part of a QA tester's job to find these. And if the QA testers found them and reported them, and the developers did nothing, then it's straight up developer negligence. And I think 343 need to understand that if they were to fix the Master Chief Collection, release it on PC, make it one of those, what are they calling them, play anywhere games, they would bring so many people back to the series because there are so many PC gamers who don't want to justify buying an Xbox One just for the price of the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5. Halo 5 aside, we'll leave them to do whatever they're doing with that. But with the Master Chief Collection, there are so many PC gamers wanting to play it that have not had the chance because they don't want to fork out $300, $400 or pounds or euros or yen or whatever for an Xbox One for 2, maybe 3 games. And I don't think Microsoft are pushing this enough. They're pushing the PC platform. Yes, they are. They're pushing Windows 10 as a gaming platform. But we need a Halo game. I happily own an Xbox One. I bought my Xbox One second-hand for the sole purpose of buying the Master Chief Collection when it happened. And then Halo 5 after that. I was so hyped for the Master Chief Collection. I was sat there in my room mashing the download button as soon as it became the day of the release. But a lot of that hype is lost because, from the looks of it, 343 can't seem to finish a game. They can start, but they can't finish. That's what she said. But they really, really need to fix the Master Chief Collection. Even if this video's not a technical explanation of why the Master Chief Collection is broken, or some in-depth analysis as to the engine issues they had porting all the games to separate engines to run on the Xbox One. It's more a plea for 343 to fix the Master Chief Collection. You know? So many of us own Xbox Ones for Halo. We love it. It's a console seller. And Microsoft know that, so they just push them out. Push out everything Halo. Get more consoles out. Get more units sold. But if there's no love and care, we've already seen it. If there's no love and care and passion in the games, people will see that. People see straight through developers that do not give a shit about their games. And that is why Call of Duty gets so much backlash these days. They pump them out and pump them out and pump them out because they know they're making money. And the sales have just dropped and dropped and dropped. We've seen it with the Halo series, we've seen it with the Gears of War series, we've seen it with Call of Duty, even Battlefield to some extent. Although DICE have realised and are now picking their shit up off the floor, going, we need to get our shit together, otherwise people won't enjoy our games anymore. And I don't want to be rude to 343 or EA or Microsoft or anybody, but if you guys aren't going to put passion into your games, we see it in marketing. People are like, oh, we're so passionate about what we do. But if you're so passionate about what you do, you would strive for creative perfection. I know perfection can never be achieved, but if you're going to send out a half-assed game, everybody will know. The moment a reviewer gets their hand on a copy, everyone will know that the game is lackluster and has not been polished and is not the experience that they should have deserved. I mean, games cost a lot of money nowadays. Back in the day, they used to cost, on the original Xbox, they cost £30 here. You'd go out to a game, I'd go out, save up my pocket money for 6 weeks, £5 a week, and go out and get a game for £30. I'd go out and buy a brand new game for £30. Halo 2, for example. Now, games cost double that. They cost £60 here. You want to buy a game off the Microsoft Store or a game? It's £60 for a brand new copy. And it feels like we're getting a lot less for our money. I know the budgets have increased, people have gotten more expensive in terms of, hiring staff, and games cost a lot more to make. But it seems that the ratio of content and game being made to price paid hasn't increased. If you look at games from back in the day, you look at, say, well, let's take a Bethesda game. Let's take Fallout 3 for the 360. That game cost £30 on release, at least where I was. I went to game, got it for £30, that was that. Fallout 4, a game a bit smaller by the feeling. It felt a lot smaller and a lot shorter than Fallout 3, and a lot less content. A lot more scripted things. Sure, the graphics were nicer and things, but they weren't that much better. Cost double the price. I don't understand how it costs double the price. I know publishers and developers want to make more money out of their games and things like that, but if you really want to make a successful games company or a game studio, put passion into your games. That's why I feel that sequels to video games have just gotten progressively worse. I mean, you look at Halo 1, it was a passion project. It wasn't some sort of business deal to suck cash out of people. They made the game because there was a hole in the market, sure, and they made something they wanted to fill it with. Nowadays, it's just reboots and sequels to games that people loved, and people buy in on them because the developers know they'll make money off it. They buy in off the nostalgia. I honestly feel that we're going to have another video game crash at some point, like the one in '86 or whatever it was with the Atari and ET and whatnot, because it was the same thing then. Quality control got lower and lower and lower, and standards were dropping, and people were just shoveling things out the door in order to make quick money. And it feels like it's all happening again. It's not a good thing. As somebody who is studying games development and wants to get into the games industry with a real passion for video games, it hurts. It really hurts me to see the games industry going in such a way. If I was a bit weaker than I am now, I'd be in tears, seeing my future job prospects crumble at the feet of companies like Activision, EA, and Microsoft, who are just squeezing the video game cash cow until it dries out. I honestly feel that if we don't have a video game crash within the next 4 years, then within the next decade the video game industry will die out entirely. Through saturation. There will be new games. I mean, there already are games coming out every week. But there will be clones of clones of clones of clones coming out every week with lower and lower quality control. And people will just be like, video games? Why would I bother? They're just buggy messes. I can't play them for more than 5 minutes or my phone shuts off. You know? It's saddening to see the games industry go in such a direction. And I'm not saying Halo's at the forefront of this, because Halo's QA has been pretty good for the most part, and 343 have been pretty good at getting updates out for their flagship game. If they can't fix their flagship game in the time release for the next one, then it gets left by the wayside, and anybody that picks up that game instead of Halo 5 will go, oh, the Master Chief Collection's a buggy mess, I'm not going to buy any of 343's games, they don't know what they're doing. And then 343 and Microsoft lose money. Microsoft, this is a completely separate note, but Microsoft seem to like pushing separate franchises. They pushed Halo last year. E3 last year was Halo, Halo, Halo. This year, it was Gears of War. They are pushing Gears of War. Like, the original company, Epic Games, never wanted to make a Gears of War 4, because they said that Marcus Phoenix's story was done, and they didn't have any more to tell with the Gears of War story. Everything they'd wanted to do was done. But Microsoft were like, no, we have a franchise that people are buying. Let's just make a new studio and get them to make one. Same thing they did with Halo. Same thing I'm sure they'll do with all of their first-party franchises. And developers and companies will see that and go, actually, we don't want any part in this. Think Bungie leaving to go with Activision. I mean, they went from bad to worse for going from Bungie to Activision. But at least Activision aren't pushing them to push out a sequel every year for Destiny. We don't see Destiny 2, Destiny 3, Destiny 4 every year. We see content packs, which cost less than a full game, and in theory just expand an original game. I've got no problems with full-size DLC being sold for, £15 to £30. If I feel the content's worth it, then sure. But if you're pushing out a new game that requires you to buy a new game for £60 every year, we've got a problem. Halo's not going for the yearly thing, at least not in terms of the mainline Halo games. But Microsoft are still pushing out game after game after game in the same franchise, without letting, one, the franchise have a bit of time to rest and mature, and two, the developers to fix the games they've made, because Microsoft are forcing them to push them out so quickly that they don't have time to run them through QA properly or fix the bugs. And the games industry is just going to fall apart because of this. I mean, we've seen it with the Xbox One. Half the games I own for the Xbox One are buggy broken messes. And half the games on the Xbox One I own are from 343. The Master Chief Collection, terrible mess. Battlefield 4 was a terrible mess at the start. Watch Dogs, I don't even need to bloody talk about Watch Dogs. I've recently played through it on the PC with the worst mod on, and it looks just like the E3 videos. It's fantastic. I loved it. But it seems that most of these games are just... It seems QA's become less of a focus. And that's really worrying for the games industry. If there's not enough QA testers around, sign me up. I'll do a QA testing job in the evenings, post-university. That's fine with me. If I can help make a game better, sure. Run more betas. Run more betas for video games. Mirror's Edge Catalyst had a beta. It was sort of a push for pre-orders and whatnot, but it allowed EA to gain system-wide QA testing. You run through the same section of game. Everybody plays the same section. They play it in different ways. They play it how they want to. It let them gauge PC specs and how well the game ran on PCs, so they could see if they needed to optimize for higher end or lower end hardware. It's a great idea. Demos and betas, proper betas, not like the Battlefront beta, that was just a pre-order push. But demos and betas are fantastic for video games. It's like free QA on the developer's point. Sure, it takes a bit of time, but if you can implement a system into your game that runs some metrics and a bit of data mining, So you can see what the average frame rate was per play session and things like that. And in Halo's case, what the average resolution was per play session. That's a lot of valuable information for a games developer to use. And it can help benefit games, publishers, consumers, everyone overall. Testing, testing, testing is what we need in the games development space. I know a lot of testing does go on, but by the standards of some of these games that are coming out, not enough testing is going on. I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I know it's been a long one, it's been, 15 odd minutes, I've just been sat in front of my computer rambling, but if you guys think that games need to be tested more and they need more bug fixes and updates, like I'm gonna end with this. 343. We know the Master Chief Collection is behind you. We know you've got Halo 5 to worry about and whatever new games you got coming out, Halo Wars 2 and whatnot. But don't forget your roots. You started with Halo 4. Sure, it was an alright game. Multiplayer was a bit naff, people had their issues with it, sure. Then you brought out the Master Chief Collection, the flagship Halo on a new console. And it didn't work. And it still doesn't work to this day. As much as you'd like to think it's fixed, we get into games now, it's great. But the player base isn't there. We need to bring the player base back. And we need to ensure that these mistakes do not happen again. I mean, Halo Wars 2, I know it's not your fault with Halo Wars 2, but half the people playing it were having issues. They couldn't get into game. And this is my call to Microsoft here, not 343. Okay, Microsoft, you need to force QA on your games. You need to push it harder. Because at this rate, you are literally going to kill the franchise and potentially kill gaming. Because people will follow your example, going, oh, we don't need to QA our games, it's fine, we'll push it out and then patch it. Nobody cares. Look at Assassin's Creed Syndicate, for God's sake. Not Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Unity, for God's sake. It was a flipping mess. And you know what Ubisoft did? Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll patch it, we'll patch it. That is not the mentality we need. Patches should not be a thing. Games should come out working. If you have to day one patch a game, you've had a problem and you should have held the game back. Man. Rant over. I'm sorry if anybody was unhappy with this video. If you've got any opinions, leave them in the comment section below. I really think the games industry needs to buck its ideas up and sort itself out. I've been Classy Ham. Thanks for watching. Stay classy.